Oh, all right, folks. How we doing today? Hey, haven't been here with you for a couple days. Wanted to jump on live today. Now, folks, if you don't remember, we are going live using StreamYard. So if you haven't done it yet, make sure you go over to StreamYard.com and give them your authorization to use your picture and your name. Otherwise, we end up with comments that just say internet user, and that's it. We don't know who you are. So we'll see your comments, but we won't know who you are. So definitely we want to be able to see who you are. So make sure you're doing that. So anyway, while we're waiting on some folks to get on live, go ahead and give me that hashtag live. Give me that hashtag replay if you're catching it a little later in replay. Now, this wasn't announced, so maybe more replays than lives. That's fine. I understand. I always like to know where you're from. Let me know where you're watching from. That's always nice to know. Also, smash that heart button for me. You know, the more you smash that heart button, or the care button also works really well. But the more you use those buttons, the more the algorithm realizes people are engaged in the video, and it helps other people to see it. So make sure you do that. So anyway, you know, folks, if you haven't gotten into it yet, I am streaming still to my profile as well as the group, but here's the link to the group, and I'll drop that in the chat a little later for you. But yeah, just Facebook groups, Affiliate Keys to Success. Jump on in, check it out. We're putting in all kinds of training for you. In fact, we're going to do a training video for you here in just a minute. So anyway, I want to let you know what I've been up to. Well, I've been spending the week in the MVP 5-day challenge. I guess I got MVP in there twice, don't I? Let me just real quick edit that because that'll drive me crazy. Let's see here, go to that. And let's take an MVP out of there. All righty. And I'll save. There we go. And now we'll put it back in. There we go. So I've been at the 5-day MVP challenge with Wilhelm Winald, and it has been an electric week. We've learned some pretty crazy stuff. Learned all about the messenger murderer funnel. So that's been pretty exciting. Let me do a quick screen share with you here. That's not the one we want. We want this one right here. So anyway, yeah, take a look over here. I've been at the MVP live challenge or 5-day challenge. Today is the final day with Doug Boughton's special masterclass. So if you're not doing anything at 2 o'clock, I would jump in on that. It's absolutely free. It's inside the MVP group, and you can get to it. It's themvpchallenge.com. So it's pretty easy to remember, themvpchallenge.com. And I'll drop a link for you in the chat here at the end. So anyway, so Phil, hey, good to see you, buddy. I see you're probably ready for that challenge here in a little bit, aren't you? I know you're excited about it. Phil's been in there with me all week, and I'll tell you, he knows how electric it's been. It's been pretty exciting. That messenger murderer funnel is a pretty exciting deal. But yeah, you can get in there right now and still catch the finale with Doug today. And, you know, you can catch the previous 4 days in replay and catch up. But this messenger murderer funnel is a pretty cool thing. So I would definitely get in there and check that out if you're not doing anything here in a little bit. So anyway, that's kind of what I've been up to. Definitely worth it if you get a chance to check that out today. So anyway, let's do a quick training video for you here. Get that rolling. So as we do the training videos, of course, I'm going to pretend you're not there, and we're going to just run with a video here, and that way we can reuse it a little later. So what do we got for you here? We have got today we talked about the messenger murder funnel. So folks, I've got a question for you. Are you stuck in your business right now? Are you spinning your wheels, not really moving forward? Well, I think I can help you with that. So let me do a quick screen share with you and get my presentation going. So today I'd like to talk to you about the 10 common ways you can get stuck and how to get moving again. Now, folks, I've experienced most of these ways of getting stuck myself. So I'm coming to you from a place of having experienced all of these, or most of them. And I was really stuck. First got started. in the business. I wasted a good probably 6 months. I was watching YouTube videos. I was jumping from course to course, and I wasn't really getting anywhere. And I was really stuck in the overwhelm, which is the first of our possible ways of doing it, till I met my mentor, and he gave me this list of ways to get unstuck. And so I'm going to share it with you today because it really has helped me quite a bit. So anyway, these are the 10 ways that you can typically get unstuck or typically get stuck. Let me real quick get rid of that banner for you. These are 10 ways you typically get stuck. You can get overwhelmed. You can get shiny object syndrome. You can have poor management, poor time management. You can suffer from procrastination. That's been a problem of mine in the past. Imposter syndrome. We all suffer from that a little bit. Self-sabotage. Don't know where to start. False beliefs about time or money. Isolation and perfectionism. Now, those are things probably 8 out of the 10 I've suffered from at one time or another. So let's go over here real quick and go to our next slide. Let's talk about the overwhelm. Now, we've all probably felt overwhelmed a little bit in this business. You know, there's a lot of information, and that in and of itself can overwhelm you. So anyway, you could be suffering from a huge to-do list. You know, there's a lot to do with this business. So if you're not organized, you can really get stuck. You might not have enough time in the day. Well, that's a problem I suffer with. I work a full-time job on top of this. So between the two, I run out of time every day. But the important thing is to make maximum use of the time that you have. Information overload. Well, you know, in the early stages, I watched so many YouTube videos and took so many courses. I was on information overload. I thought I had to start a YouTube channel and a Facebook group and be on Facebook and going live and in Pinterest. I thought I had to do it all at once. And that's nothing could be further from the truth. You really just want to pick one thing and go at it. Tight on your finances. Well, you know, any business is going to cost a little money to get started. Most businesses cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is a business you can start for as little as about $150 a month. So it's not very expensive to get going. Now, the solutions for this, and they're not going to make sense right now, but we'll cycle back to that. Solutions are going to be 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's going to make sense to you a little bit later. All right, let's talk about shiny object syndrome. Okay, well, we've all suffered from that a little bit. That's where you get started in a program and you do a little bit, you start to get a little momentum, and then you see somebody else in another program and hey, they're doing really good. You think, oh, geez, maybe I'm in the wrong program. So you jump over and you haven't even fully implemented the first program that you've tried. So you don't even know whether or not it really works. So that's what shiny object syndrome is. So you're not sure what you want. That can cause shiny object syndrome. You start things without finishing them. Again, jump from program to program. Your mind is playing tricks on you. You know, you can't focus. You think, oh my gosh, they've got the better plan over there. It's kind of a grass is always greener on the other side kind of a situation. And the last one is that you just have a short attention span. You know, if you can't pay attention to things, that may get you stuck. And you may look from thing to thing because you don't focus enough on one. So that's shiny object syndrome. Now, the solutions for that are 4, 5, and 6. Poor time management. Well, causes for that. Well, first of all, it's kind of easy to get scattered if you don't plan. Not using a calendar or some kind of a day planner. Very important. There's so many moving parts that you have to accomplish in the course of the day that if you're not doing something to plan that out, you know, like they say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So failing to plan will get you in, you know, failing to plan your day or your week. Very important. In fact, even the whole month is worth planning. I always use every Sunday evening, I do my planning for the week. And sometimes that's a little difficult for me because I don't get my schedules sometimes until Tuesday if my boss isn't on top of them. So that sometimes presents a problem for me. Overcommitting. You commit to too many things. Well, you can only fit so much stuff in a day. If you commit to 10 people and you've only got time to take care of 5 properly, well, then you're either going to only halfway take care of 10 or you're going to leave 5 of them short. So, or out of the picture. So, putting too many things in your day doesn't work. You want to focus on about 3 things, big things that you're going to get done in the day, and make sure you schedule them in your day. And when you're scheduling, also make sure you're scheduling time for yourself, personally. Let's talk about procrastination. Well, we've all done that at one time or another. I know I've put off things. It's a pain versus pleasure kind of thing, the pain of spending a little time working versus the pleasure of sitting back, chilling on your couch, watching Netflix, pain versus pleasure. We're naturally prone to go to the pleasure. That's the way we are as people. We like to be comfortable. It's the way we are naturally. So we're naturally wired to make excuses to not get things done. We'll get it done later. This is more important now, kind of a thing. Focusing on too many things. Again, that comes down to your calendar and making sure you're planning your day. Paralysis of analysis. That's something a lot of marketers get into early in the game, especially when you're watching a lot of YouTube. YouTube, I've learned YouTube is useful for one thing and one thing only. If you need an answer for a question, you can go to YouTube and find it. But you can also get stuck going down a rabbit hole that just keeps circling and circling. So don't do that. Get focused on a program, get yourself a mentor. Don't have that problem. So 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 on that one. All right, imposter syndrome. Now, that's something we've all suffered from a little bit. Part of the things that cause imposter syndrome, well, first of all, let's define imposter syndrome. It's kind of feeling like you're not worthy. It's feeling like you're not really the expert that can present something. The causes of that are not really knowing what your own worth is. A lot of times we look at somebody like a Russell Brunson and we think, well, what am I doing teaching anybody affiliate marketing? I'm not Russell Brunson. But the reality is most people can't afford Russell Brunson, for starters. He's too busy to teach the new people. And the reality is you really want somebody who's successful at what they're doing, but isn't so far ahead of you that they can't be committed to your success and making sure that you're doing well. So not knowing your own worth is part of that, because you have a value to somebody. You can help somebody along. Somebody is behind you in the business and needs to know what you know. It's a loud, noisy marketplace out there. There's so much going on that it's really easy to feel like an imposter, because there's so many people out there and they all pretend to be experts. So it's human nature to kind of feel like you're not really the person, like you're not the expert. You're overthinking it a little bit. Realistically, you're thinking you're placing too much in here and not enough putting what you know out there to somebody. There is somebody out there that needs to know what you know, and you can help them. Telling your goals to the wrong people. Okay, so you're going in and telling your goals to people who think what you're doing is absolutely crazy. They look at you and say, internet marketing, that's a scam. Nobody can do that. So obviously they don't know, because there's a lot of people being pretty successful in it. So that's affiliate or the imposter syndrome, and it's solution 2 and 4. Self-sabotage. Well, you can be your own worst enemy. That's the truth. Your own fear of failure. You get in your head again. You are too busy worrying about failing and not doing what you need to succeed. Fear of success. Some people fear what might happen if they do actually succeed. Well, then what? If I succeed in this, then I got to go teach people. Then I got to go do these things. Everything presents another problem for you. I give you an example myself. I'm working on a live challenge for the people in my group right now. And I went and enrolled in a challenge to learn how to make a challenge. And I immediately figured out I had a much bigger situation on my hands than what I originally thought. In the end, it's going to be a much better product. So fight or flight response, folks, we like to run from anything that gives us any kind of fear. So we self-sabotage ourselves and say we can't do it, and we just run away from it. Don't bother to even try if we're going to fail. So exaggerating other people's achievements. So you get on the internet and you look at somebody who's really, killing it. They say they're crushing it. They're making all kinds of money. Well, one, that could be true. But two, you don't know where they started. You don't know what their advantages are. You can only compare yourself to yourself. Excuse me one second here. All right. So exaggerating other people's achievements, diminishing your own achievements. You know, you take a look at your own achievements and you say, oh, that's not that great or whatever. And again, you're getting in your own head and you got to get out of there. You got to have faith in your own abilities. Solutions 2 and 4 to that one. All right. You don't know where to start. Well, you're asking the wrong questions. You know, you may not be asking the right questions to find the right place to start. You're unsure of your customer's avatar. You know, you've got to really define who your customer is before you can go out and sell to them. So that's an important part of what you're doing. You're problem unaware. So you're not aware of all the problems that face you. And so you just don't start, or you don't know where to start. You don't have any systems or plans. Again, not knowing where to start, or not having the right program to get you started. And the worst one is you do know where to start. You've already studied some of this. You know what's going on, but the procrastination gets you and you just don't. So that's a big one. 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 on that one. All right, let's talk about the false beliefs of time and money. Okay, well, disorganization is a big part of time. If you plan and manage your time, you can find the time to do this. I'm doing it with a 50-hour-a-week job, and it's going to provide the ability for me to drop down a level and take it down to a 40-hour-a-week job here shortly. So that's coming my way very soon. Natural tendencies. Well, natural tendencies can make you kind of question whether or not you have time for it. Lack of a budget or a schedule. Well, we already talked about the scheduling. Well, a budget's the same thing. It's planning to succeed with your money. So if you want to make something happen, you'll find a spot in the budget to make it happen. So if it's a matter of, getting the training you need, or figuring out where to start, or paying for that software program that you need to get going, you'll figure out a way to do it. And the important thing to realize is ultimately in the end, it's free, because if you end up making more money from it, then it's no cost to you at all. So that's an important thing to think about. Lack of revenue or resources. Well, you do have to have a little bit to get going, but it's not like starting a business where you need hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you start something like a McDonald's, that's going to cost you about $1 million to get going. If that, it may be more than that by now. And the last thing is just bad habits. Your bad habits get in your way. Bad spending habits, not controlling your money, causes you to not have money to put it into the important things. Wasting your time in the wrong way, doing stuff that doesn't matter, will cause you not to have time to pursue a business. But in the end, where's that going to get you? So solutions 3, 4, 5, and 6 on that one. Okay. All right, somehow I kicked myself out of there, but we're going to get right back in here and finish this thing up, and I will edit out the difference. So let's get back to a share screen for you there. Not quite sure what I did wrong there, but we're going to make this happen. So anyway, we were on false beliefs, and we just finished up bad habits, and I said 3, 4, 5, and 6, and now we're going to go to isolation. Causes of isolation are, well, self-choice. You can choose to be alone. You can have the wrong friend group. If you're in the wrong friend group, you'll feel very isolated. That's why it's very important to get in a good group online that's supportive and that will help you to grow. Let's talk about unsure of your core values. If you don't know what your core values are, it's kind of hard to set your sights on anything. Failure to convey your message. Well, if you can't convey your message, it's hard to get things going. So that's something that can cause you to get stuck. If you're feeling isolated and unwillingness to join clubs or do meetups or things like that, I can tell you this challenge I did, I paid $35 to be in the back room, and it was well worth it. And the energy from that group was fantastic. So just by putting myself out there and getting into a group, I didn't even have to leave my house. So even in current times, you don't have to be isolated. You get out there and get in a group that's going to support you and be a positive thing. Okay. So that's 2, 3, 4 on that one. Okay. The last one, of course, is perfectionism. That's one that can get us all. And we're all a little guilty of that. You know, I could get concerned about the fact that a video isn't going right and isn't exactly perfect and never publish it. Or I can edit it and make it the best I can make it and put it out there to help people. So that's what I'll choose to do. Fear of starting. Well, I can tell you I had a lot of problems with that when it comes to going live. I had a real problem with it. I kept putting it off. I knew I needed to do it for my business, but I didn't. And finally, one day I just decided I'd do a 90-day challenge, and I did it, and it's done. And now I go live without even thinking about it. False revenue prioritizations can hold you up. So in other words, if you're trying to be too perfect about what your revenue prioritizations are. And failure to delegate. So once you get a little bigger, if you're so much of a perfectionist that you want to do it all yourself and you're not willing to delegate it out to somebody else, you know, I could tell you in my full-time job at Taco Bell, there's no way I could do that by myself. I've got to have a number of people to get that job done. And I've got to be willing to delegate things out to them to get it done. So that's a big part about perfectionism. So let's talk about the 6 techniques that can get you running again. Now that we've talked about the 10 things that can get you stuck. All right. Well, they are: change your environment, do something for yourself, hire help. So if you're getting a little overwhelmed, hiring help can be the way to go. Invest in a mentor. If you're stuck and you don't know where to go, like I was, the thing that made the difference for me was a mentor who gave me this exact list that I'm now sharing with you. Create systems that keep you on track. So again, using a schedule, plan your videos ahead of time, things of that nature. Start a checklist so you know what you have to do to accomplish tasks. Keeps you on track, gets things done more efficiently. Create a schedule to keep you on track. So the 2 things I was just talking about there basically go on hand in hand. So that's the 10 things. Let's talk about what they are one at a time. All right. First, you can change your environment. You can clean and rearrange your office, work at the library, work at Starbucks. You can do something for yourself. That's number 2. You can set goals for yourself. Again, use a schedule. Take a day for yourself. Take a day off. Go out and have some fun. Don't think about the business for a day. Sometimes that's what it takes. You got to have good times with your family and stuff too. So sometimes you just have to take a break. Schedule breaks in your day. Try to remove 1 bad habit a week. So if one of your bad habits is not scheduling well, then remove that by scheduling. So simple as that. Exercise and eat healthy. You know, everybody needs to take care of themselves. It's kind of like when the airplane's going down, you know, and the masks drop out of the ceiling. You're supposed to secure your mask before you help somebody else. So you've got to take care of yourself first. You got to make sure you're exercising and staying healthy. Well, you know, I'm not the best specimen of health, but I do go for walks. I do try and eat healthy. I do try and, you know, at least take decent care of myself. Do something you've been wanting to do. So, you know, if you've been working hard and you're finally just getting overwhelmed, you know, go out and do something for yourself that you've been wanting to do. You know, that's simple as that. Okay. Number 3, hire help. Now, this is something that definitely comes into play as you're growing because you get more and more tasks. And you want to think of that 80-20 rule. You know, you want to focus your time on the 20% of the tasks that are going to make you 80% of your money. And then you want to send the other 80% of the tasks, you hire somebody for that. Now, in the early stages, it can be VAs that manage your Facebook accounts for you or what have you. Having people do some of the video editing for you. I've got my daughter doing that for me. Simple as that. You know, things that delegate things out that can save you time. Decide what you want to focus on. Create standard operating procedures. If you're doing things the same way in a routine, they go much faster. And then as you do hire people and delegate that out, you have an operating procedure that you can give to them, and that will give you the next thing. Create organizational tools. So you create the SOPs and organizational tools to get things done. That's why when you hire people, you can then create the KPIs that it's talking about. Now, the KPIs are key performance indicators so that you can measure success. So things have to be measurable as much as they can. So if it's maybe how many people does my VA manage to communicate with in a day? And then you can go back to them and say, okay, well, you're falling short of this quota, why, etc. So that's what KPIs are for, so that you can measure your success. So find a niche specialist on Fiverr to help you with something so that you can just offload something for you. Maybe all your graphic work, you can just send them the quotes and they can do all the graphic work for you. Find a virtual assistant from freeup.com. You can set expectations with job performance scoreboard for them so that you can then go back and review it and set up a work system flow. Now, that actually will help you even before you hire somebody. Having a work system flow speeds up your own processes. Then you set a date with that person to then review what they're doing for you. So if you're hiring a VA that's overseas somewhere, you want to review them in some way and hold them accountable for what you're having them do for you. All right, next one, invest in a mentor. Now, I'm telling you, that's been one of the most important things for me. I was struggling and, I really felt like I could do this, but I was getting really frustrated because I was doing things to get me there, but I was getting stuck in the process. So find somebody who's achieved the results that you want to do in your life transformation, and then follow them. And you want to find somebody who's investing in themselves. I can show you a whole list of the courses I've invested in trying to learn things, and I've learned something from all of them. And, that goes with the challenge that I'm in right now. So find a mentor who's just not sitting still, who's still trying to learn things, because ultimately you're going to get to their level and you want them to be progressing so that they can continue to help you. And at that point, you're, of course, going to be able to help others better if you're continuing to invest in yourself. Do their values align with your core values? I actually have a few mentors right now that align with me. I wouldn't necessarily recommend them all to everybody that I work with. They all come from a different place and would resonate differently with different people. Do they really want to create an impact in the world or in your life, or are they just trying to make money from you? Is it just trying to take you from course to course, or are they trying to really see you achieve a result? And is their success the fact that you're successful? And that's what you're really looking for. And are they doing things for the long term, or did they just set up a quick website to take your money and then they're going to disappear? One of the companies I represent is ClickFunnels. They're not going anywhere. They're going to be around tomorrow. So that's something to think about. All right. The next thing would be create systems to keep you on track. Now, again, that goes back to just getting organized. Have a day planner. I use Trello to plan my projects, and then I put them onto a calendar. You've just got to do that to keep you on track. So I also have organized my Google Drive and so forth in a way that will help you to keep track of things. And we'll go into that in a future video. Anyway, work with programs that will help to keep things organized for you. All right. Keep a schedule, keep on track. Well, we talked about that a little bit. You can use Google Calendar to schedule everything that you're dealing with. And I can show you my calendar. And, I've got everything plugged out from the start of my day to the end of my day, and even personal time in there to allow for time just to simply, take a shower, read a book, that sort of thing. Use a program like Calendly to help schedule your calls and your appointments so that you don't have to get on a phone with somebody and work out a good time. You can use Calendly, tell it what your good times are, and then put it up there and let people pick from them. Create shareable calendars so that you can share them with people so that they know what you're doing. Share them with your family so they know what you're doing. All right. So to recap, we did the 10 things that can get you stuck, and we talked about the 6 techniques that can get you moving again. So next time you're feeling stuck, I want you to rewatch this video and apply the proper techniques to get you moving again. So here they are. We talked about overwhelmed, and here's where the numbers are going to come into play for you. And so when you rewatch this, you can kind of fast forward to this area where it gives it to you. But as we said, the causes or the cures for overwhelm are 3, 4, 5, and 6. So hire help. If you're overwhelmed, hire some help. Invest in a mentor to get you back on track. Create systems to keep you on track. Create a schedule to keep you on track. So right there, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If you're suffering from shiny object syndrome, again, the solutions 4, 5, and 6. It's making a little more sense to you now, isn't it? You can invest in a mentor. You can create systems to keep you on track, and you can create a schedule to keep you on track. All right. Poor time management. Here again, there you have it. Hire help. Invest in a mentor. Create systems to keep you on track, and create a schedule to keep you on track. And there we have it for procrastination. Change your environment. That's really a big one. I don't know if we talked about change your environment. I think maybe I skipped a slide on that. Changing your environment is really important. It's just getting out of what you're doing. Go to the library and work. One of the things I like to do is just unplug my computer and go sit out here on the balcony on a sunny day and work out there. One of my plans before the summer's out, I'm going to grab myself a personal hotspot so that I can go work on the boat. That's kind of a nice way to just sit out there and put my computer on a table and do my workout on the lake. So anyway, invest in a mentor, create systems to keep you on track, and create a schedule to keep you on track. Imposter syndrome, do something for yourself and invest in a mentor and invest in knowledge. That's the big thing. Self-sabotage. Well, again, do something for yourself and invest in a mentor, somebody who can help you get out of your head, help you with the mindset. Sometimes it's just a matter of having somebody to bounce things off of. Again, get into a group of like-minded people. You're welcome to jump into my group if you're not in there. We have a group of people who already know what's going on with marketing, and they help each other out quite a bit. So, jump on into our group. We'll be happy to help you with that. All right. And let's go on down. I don't know where to start. Well, again, change your environment. Do something for yourself, invest in a mentor, create systems to keep you on track, and create a schedule to keep you on track. The mentor right there is going to help you figure out where to start if you don't know. So that's the big part right there. All right. False beliefs about time and money. All right. Well, again, you can hire help. That's going to get you all kinds of time. You can invest in a mentor. Well, yeah, mentor is going to cost you a little bit of money, but again, in the end, it's free. Because if you've got a good mentor, he's going to get you making money. So again, his efforts are free. So create a system to keep you on track, create a schedule to keep you on track. So work with that. Isolation. Again, do something for yourself. If you're feeling isolated, get out, get with people, hire help. Well, if you got a few people around the office that are like-minded, well, you're going to have conversation every day. I know a big part of my day, and it's probably one of the things that'll kind of keep me from leaving my job right away, is I enjoy the people. I enjoy the customers. So that's something, but again, there's the work part of it I wouldn't mind leaving behind. So, all right. And perfectionism. Again, invest in a mentor, somebody that'll tell you, hey, it's perfect enough, launch it. Sometimes it's what we call take imperfect action. If I tried to have every one of these videos I did perfect, well, first of all, I'd never go live because live is not perfect. And secondly, I'd be reworking them and redoing them constantly and never, ever publish any of them. So So anyway, perfectionism. So create a schedule, keep you on track. That's the other big thing. So once again, folks, those are the 10 things that'll help you out. I hope that's something that'll be of benefit to you. Again, this will be available to you. Rewatch it. If you're stuck, just rewatch it. Go through those topics. They've worked for me. I go back to them every time I have a problem. So hope that helps you. Y'all have a fantastic day. Okay, folks. So that's the end of our video. Hope that was positive for you. I see Marcus is with us now. Great to have you, Marcus. Phil, I don't know if you're still with me. Hope you guys found that a positive thing. Looking forward to the big thing this afternoon at 2, the MVP challenge. So I hope you guys are enjoying that, and we will look forward to seeing you all there this afternoon. Talk to you all later this evening, folks, or later, folks. Hope you have a great afternoon. Take care now. Bye-bye.